What's up, guys? My goodness. It's Wednesday, October 16th, 2024. We're at the Bitcoin block item 865,988. TikTok next block. The reason why I'm looking like this, I just turned it off and hit the record button. I just watched the Kamala Harris Brett Barr interview. Now I'm going to say this. Brett Barr did a lot better than what I thought he was going to do, and a lot better than a lot of people said he was going to do. He was fair. He wasn't, trying to get you with all gotcha questions. He did a few of them, of course, in relation to what she's been used to as far as like the, the easy interviews she's used to. But I just got to say this, man. Whoever is advising this woman, they're not doing a good job. And again, I'm not mad about it. Okay, their strategy, man, is crazy. I'm hearing people online saying that why doesn't Kamala Harris just admit that she was wrong and take responsibility for the border and all this? And I'm gonna get into the interview in a second. Why doesn't she do that? Well, I'm going to tell you why she doesn't do that. Because it's a machine, guys, that they're up against, that we're up against. And Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, these people are nothing but cogs in the wheel of that machine, and they are puppets. They're scripted. They're not real, okay? They are literally actors and actresses. So when you see Kamala Harris up there, that's not really who she is. She's just, they put a battery in her backpack and go out there and tell her what to say. The problem is she's not talented. She's not talented enough. That's the first part, right? They're a puppet of the machine. Number two, if they go out there and admit that they were wrong and actually humanize themselves, which any kind of good person would do, you'd have to admit that everyone was wrong. Everybody that was lying to us for the last 3.5 years. Guys, we got to go back to the beginning in 2021, in January 2021, when they let all these illegal immigrants in and then told us for months and a couple of years that that's not true. There's no illegal immigrations problem. The border's closed. And, we're crazy for thinking this. You'd have to say, if Kamala Harris comes out there and they put that in her script, that she's wrong and, we're going to fix the problems and everything like that, you'd have to say that CNN, MSDNC, and all of them were wrong and they were lying. And guys, they will never do that. Ever. Never do that. Right? So that's the problem. So what's the solution to this? Because they have to keep the most precious thing they have is their narrative going. So what do they have to do? They got to pretend like it didn't happen until all the way up until this point when they know they can't lie about it anymore. So what do? What's their plan? Their plan is Trump is bad. That's what they're going to do. So let's talk about the interview. So from what I can see, this is what the game plan was for Kamala Harris. Because again, she's not talented enough to do this stuff. This is what she did. She filibustered. Not answered the questions. That's the first thing. Talk as long as she can. First of all, she was late to the interview, I heard. Talked as long as she could. Make sure that she ran the time long so that Brett Barr couldn't ask any questions. The least amount of questions to her, the better. Because again, she can't stand on her own record and what she's going to do. And they don't want her talking a lot because again, she's not talented enough and their record sucks. Right? So talk as long as you can and do all that stuff. That's the first thing. Second thing is talk bad about Trump. But Trump is bad. Trump. I mean, I know it and I get it. Listen, Trump does it too. Okay, to be fair. When you have a binary choice, you have to talk bad about your opponent. I get it. But if it were me, if I had a good record, or if it were me, I would say, even if I didn't have a good record, I would talk about me for 75% of the time and then 25% of my opponent. I mean, she does the opposite. She just talks about Trump on and on and on. And that's their plan. It's just a Trump bad everything. And it's just like, I'm listening to this. I'm just like, wow, man. And she she doesn't take any responsibility for anything, for what she's done, again, because she's a puppet and she can't. But it's just listening to her get fed this stuff. And by the way, she had those earrings on. I don't know if it was the same one, but she definitely had some earrings on. So who knows what they were filling in for her or talking to her. But she just had some terrible answers, man. Terrible. And that was the first time I ever saw her or Biden, except at the meeting of the SCOTUS, when the president goes out there and talks to the people. This is the first time I ever heard anybody confront the president or vice president about Lake and Raleigh. And he did that. Bret Baier did that. He did a very good job of that. And she still wouldn't admit it until he played the recording of the one lady that her daughter died, not Lake and Riley's mom, but the other lady. And then she said, I'm so sorry. You know, because he said, are you going to apologize about that? Yeah, I'm so sorry. But Trump, you know, Trump tried to kill the border bill. Again, 3 years later, this is 2024. The bill didn't have anything to do with the stuff that happened in the beginning. And Bret Baier pointed that out very, very eloquently. But they're sitting there pretending like the borders have always been a problem the way it is now. And that's objectively just not true, right? Have we had illegal immigration coming in? Sure. But to this level? No, of course not. It's almost akin to having a leaky pipe, right? You have some leaks. You know, you got a few illegals coming in, but then all of a sudden somebody moves into the house and just opens up the floodgate and just floods the pipe, and just water's just coming in. And then them saying, oh, well, we've always had this problem. What's the difference? You know, I laugh and whatever, we joke around, but this is not good, man, because when you know what comes across our border, I'm very sad about what they do to our Americans. And also, again, I predicted I got a 65 to 70% prediction chance that I don't think there's going to be an election, because I got a funny feeling these illegals are getting together and may do something here in the next few weeks, because we're down to the last 20 days as of this recording. So, but anyway, Bret Baier did a really good job. I like the questions he asked. A lot of people are going to say he cut her off and this, that, and the third. Well, the reason why he did, because he only has a certain amount of time with her, and he doesn't want to sit there and have a campaign reading off a script, a campaign of, we did this, all this fake stuff that she talks about, and then talks about Donald Trump. Every answer she had to the question, it was but Trump. He asked her about, her being in charge for the last 3.5 years. 79% of people think the country's bad. Why is that? Trump. Trump. I'm like, Trump's been running for 10 years for I'm like, what in the hell does that have to do with you being the president and being the vice president with the president right now and trying to be president for the future? Man, it's sad, man. It's sad. And you know what's even sadder? That people will fucking fall for this nonsense. Like, no matter what happens, these people, again, they're not voting for Kamala Harris, okay? Let's be clear on that, okay? They are voting against Donald Trump, just like in 2020. Except we know Joe Biden didn't get 81 million. We know that. So if Kamala Harris gets anywhere near that number, we're going to know it's some bullshit. So, and people are just not that informed, and they know it, and they take advantage of them. And these people are evil, man. They get on here on national TV and just completely just lie to the American people, man, just for power and control. It's just sad. And the people out here that are going to be going out here voting, they're not educated voters. I think they should be able to take a test, basically like a civics test. The immigrants got to come in to be legal. I think they should do that. I think they should know at least something about the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence and how the House of Representatives work, how the Senate works. They should do a fill-in-the-blank quiz. Say, hey, this bill right here is passed by who? Who passed this bill and certain things, instead of just learning about politics through headlines and talking points and lies on the mainstream media. So It's crazy. So anyways, I give Brett Baer a B+. He did an excellent job, but again, he had his hands tied behind his back because he's a white male in America, which is the number one enemy in America. And I give Kamala Harris an F. She failed that, man. She failed that interview. If she thinks she's going to get any, because again, she's so used to lying to the Democrats and lying to her constituents, because she never talks to independents. She's only talking to Democrats, you know, and saying that Trump is bad. But it's funny how white males in this country, and I don't want to go off on a rant here, but white males in this country have been demonified for 3.5 years, but now all of a sudden that they need their votes, they roll out Tim Walz out there trying to be a fake hunter, pigeon hunter, or whatever he's doing. He couldn't even load up the gun, didn't take a shot, and now you got Kamala Harris out here trying to pander to the white males, and it's just not working, man. It's just not working. And if there is an election, and if it's fair and no bullshit goes on, Trump is gonna win this shit in a fucking landslide, man. You guys know it, and I know it, man. But there's gonna be some scary times here in the next couple of weeks, man. This Trump derangement syndrome is getting out of hand, and Trump did a interview earlier today with the black lady from Fox News, that real pretty lady, I forget her name. He did a town hall with the ladies, and he did a great job, man. He did a great job. He got a standing ovation. He talked about, he said it's simple. It's common sense stuff that he talks about, like men and women's sports and kids getting transitioned into being sex change surgeries and all this other stuff. He goes, look, man, when I don't need legislation. I'm just not going to let it happen. You know what I mean? This is just common sense policies, man. Leave our freaking kids alone. If you want to be gay, be gay. Who cares if you're gay? You know what I mean? I don't give a shit if you're gay. You know what I mean? But then now I got to accept the fact that you're gay, and I got to pander to you because of who you sleep with, and then I got to allow you to mess with our kids and indoctrinate our kids and all this other nonsense. This fucking shit is crazy, man. And the people that are voting for this and all this other stuff, I just feel like I was about to go on a rant, so let me calm down. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And again, guys, we got to win this thing, man. You got to get out here and get registered to vote. There's early voting. A lot of places in the country, there's early voting here. You guys know who I'm voting for. It's crazy. It's crazy. And if you don't know anything about money, I suggest you study this one money that I'm speaking of, because money is important, because the economy is probably the number one situation in these political races, that and the border. But the reason why the economy is so messed up is not because of the things that they're saying in in these interviews about greedy corporations and energy is going to fix it. Energy will help a little bit, but it's not any of that. Inflation comes from one place and one place only. That comes from Washington, D.C. with the money printer. These politicians, what they do is they overspend and they borrow too much, and then to make up the difference, they print the rest. And when they print dollars into existence, the money that you have, or the dollars that you have in your bank account, are going to be worth less and less, because it's all about the laws of supply and demand. The more there is of something, the less it's worth. That's why diamonds are so sought after. Because if a meteorite hit the earth full with diamonds, then the price of diamonds would just go down, because the supply would go up. Just like precious metals and everything else. Money is supposed to be hard to get. It's supposed to be finite, scarce, hard to get, not be able to just press a button and put it on a screen or print it off of a printer with a piece of worthless paper. And that's not what true money is. So if you guys want to learn about money, I suggest you study the hardest money in the world. And I think, and I'm pretty sure, you guys already know what it is. It's the best way to save. And for me, the only way to save. And that's Bitcoin. I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love, guys.